Hi everybody, this is Dr. Steph, and I am super excited to talk to you guys today about a fiber that I think everyone should be using as their sweetener. And this is why. First thing is it's called Inulin, and it's a fiber that is non-soluble. So that means your system doesn't actually digest it. So it gets deep within the intestines, and the Bifidobacter, which is a probiotic that is in your gut that we want in higher amounts, actually feeds off of this fiber. And so it's extremely beneficial as a prebiotic for your probiotics. Whether you take a probiotic as a capsule or a supplement, or whether you're just trying to increase the amount of Bifidobacter, good bacteria, beneficial bacteria in your intestines, then this should be something that you consider consuming every day. It is about a 1-to-1 ratio of sweetness to sugar. So 1 cup of inulin equals 1 cup of sugar. So if you're using this in some of your paleo or ketogenic baking, then this is a great way to sweeten things without actually adding any sugar. And in fact, you're going to be benefiting your good bacteria. There are many health benefits to this fiber. And so it's not only a great, easy, and effective sweetening replacement or sugar replacement without worrying about increasing your sugar levels, but there are actual really amazing health benefits to this product. And that's why we've started selling this in the office. But I'm going to go through some research with you guys today on the computer. And I'm going to give you a reference where you can get this on the internet as well. It's very difficult to find right now in most of the health food stores. Not even Whole Foods is selling this. So you'll have to kind of search around a little bit. So this video was prompted by an article that came up. This one was posted in Science Daily. It was actually published back in January, but it came onto my attention a few weeks ago. And this is dietary fiber protects against obesity and metabolic syndrome, a study finds. And what the study actually did was they were looking at obesity in kids. And they had a group of kids essentially consuming 1 teaspoon of inulin powder in a glass of water every day. And that was the only change that they made. They didn't even change their diet, lifestyle, activity level, or any of it. And what they found is that metabolic markers came down, the children lost weight, even their triglycerides came down close to 16-17% over the period of the study, which is amazing. And so I started to dig around a little bit more. And what I found is that Science Daily has been publishing lots of articles about inulin over the past 10 years. There was an article back as far as 2008 that I read regards to improved iron absorption. There's articles coming out that looking at sugar levels being affected positively by consumption of inulin. So plant-based sweeteners may help individuals control their blood glucose levels. So this came out last year, or a couple years ago, I should say, 2016. A new study shows that it is possible to reduce the level of sugar in your baking because it literally replaces sugar as a 1-to-1 ratio, which is great. This one was a study that was done. It was done in rats. They're starting to do more human studies. But what they found is that inulin actually preserves bone density. And it preserves bone density in both moms that are pregnant, as well as helps with better bone density in the offspring. And so what they have found is that it's got such a positive impact on the bacteria balance in your intestines by increasing the amount of Bifidobacter and decreasing the amount of Candida, yeast, and non-ideal bacteria. These are especially prevalent if you've been on antibiotics, of course, or if you've been on decades of eating a poor diet. When we feed inulin into the system, our own levels of Bifidobacter come up and bloom. And so what happens is we have a metabolic change that allows us to be able to have better metabolism. We have weight coming down. We have a better management of cholesterol levels. One study, let me see if I can find it here, was done on type 2 diabetics. What they found is that inulin supplementation significantly decreased fasting blood glucose in comparison with a placebo group. Another study where they did not just the sugar markers for diabetics and these are big studies, randomized, double-blind, placebo-controlled. What they found is that it also helped with reducing blood pressure, cholesterol levels, as well as fasting blood sugar, as well as waist to hip ratio. And so what we found is that the waist circumference in groups that were supplemented with inulin are coming down significantly compared to the placebo group. And so it's affecting metabolic syndrome across the gamut: cholesterol levels, sugar levels, blood pressure, waist circumference ratio. It's also effective at helping increase the absorption of calcium. And so when you're able to increase calcium, we found that inulin helps increase iron. And so mineralization is actually improved. And so you've got better chance of maintaining good bone density throughout your life, and maintaining good effective amounts of iron. We find a lot of patients that have iron deficiency, and they're just not good at absorbing iron in their diet. And so iron's important. We don't want too much, of course. Don't go out and buy a bunch of iron supplements after today's video, but iron is important to maintain in a proper ratio because it's effectively the main mineral that carries oxygen through our systems. So awesome effects of this amazing sweetener. What we started doing, we do have some inulin in some of our meal replacement shakes, like our Paleoline actually has inulin in it, as does our chocolate mint bars. So those of you guys that are taking our supplements, some of that will contain that. I recommend that if you're doing one of our powdered supplements, for the probiotic supplements, you just add a teaspoon of inulin to that mix. If you're doing any of our other meal replacement shakes for breakfast or for lunch, you can also add an extra teaspoon of inulin to that. I drink magnesium powder, our Citramag, Neuromag, and Neurocalm. I drink all of that kind of in a warm tea at night, and now I'm adding an extra teaspoon of inulin to it. If you're doing an electrolyte powder, or a vitamin C powder, you can always add this to it. It's very, very, very easy to deal with. I've also used it in baking. So I've taken some of our paleo dessert recipes that you can find on our website, and I've essentially replaced the sugar or whatever the sweetener was. I've replaced it completely with inulin. And the beauty of inulin, like I said earlier, is it's a complete exact ratio of measurement. So 1 cup of inulin powder is the equivalent in any recipe to 1 cup of sugar. And what you've just done now is you've turned that paleo cookie, perhaps, or paleo bar into essentially a health food, something that's good for your gut bacteria, and it will not increase sugar. In fact, it will do the opposite and help lower sugar. And then one last final thing that I read about inulin is that it has this amazing effect at reducing cravings. And so this is, again, a thing that a lot of our patients deal with when we change their diet initially. Sometimes they feel like they do okay for a while, but then all of a sudden food cravings come in. Really look at bringing in this inulin powder, and just start adding it, teaspoons here and there, as far as helping with reducing cravings. Because it's an insoluble fiber, it also helps a lot with bowel movements. So it'll help with regularity. I mean, you can see this guy runs the gamut of awesome health benefits, which is why I'm saying everybody should be consuming this, maybe not even once a day, maybe several times a day. So as far as where to find it, like I said, we do sell it in our office to those of our patients that come in on a regular basis. Very difficult to find right now. Patients are having a hard time getting this at Whole Foods or Mom's or any of the health food markets. So I just say at this point, go on to Amazon. This one here is a good one. You want organic, non-GMO, obviously wherever possible. And this one here is from Jerusalem artichoke. Inulin could be from Jerusalem artichoke. It could also be from agave, chicory root. There's different sources of it, but this one's good. It's a nice big bag of it, 1 kilogram bag, so that if you are going to use this for cooking, baking, making sweeter sauces, things like that, this would be a great addition to your pantry. All right, guys, I hope that was super helpful, and please comment below, and for sure subscribe to our channel and like us. I'll talk to you guys later.